Good evening. It's time for Fashion Watch. Every Saturday here on Citizen TV, we look at the latest fashion trends in the country and farther afield with a Fashion Watch panel. My name is Lillian Muli. Thanks for joining us. Let me intro the fashion panel to you, starting with Ian Mbugua, who is a thespian. He's a celebrity thespian and, of course, your celebrity judge on Tasker Project fame. He'll be looking at this week's fashion trends. Also with us is Carol Odero, who is a celebrity fashion journalist, and she'll be critiquing this week's trends. Image consultant, motivational speaker Robert Burale is also with us in studio here every Saturday on the Fashion Watch. And of course, celebrity fashion stylist Annabelle Onyango, also critiquing your style in the week that was. Hashtag is Fashion Watch, or SMS us using 22422. And by the way, if you want to dress the Fashion Watch panel, we invite you to do so. Each and every one of us would like to be dressed by you. Are you a designer? Do you want your work showcased on the show? Well, the Fashion Watch panel is willing to wear your designs. So send us your style on fashionwatch@royalmedia.co.ke. I'll give you the details at the end of the show, but mark that for now. It's fashionwatch@royalmedia.co.ke. Get in touch with us if you want to dress the Fashion Watch panel. Let's begin with what's been happening in the week that was. And we're beginning with Deputy President William Ruto, who mingled with the Watus in the week that was. Rather, he actually went down and, you know, had some nyama, you know, with locals. And you see him dressed down here in Converse sneakers, just really typically dressed. And this was a weekend. This was a photo that was taken over the weekend. So let's start, not this weekend, but the previous weekend. Let's start with you, Carol. This look on the Deputy President, and of course his signature hat with the Kenyan flag on it. Yeah.
Well, it's a very basic look, so to speak. I mean, there's nothing spectacular about it. It's functional, it works for him, he's layered, so he's keeping warm. I can't really say anything good or bad about it. It's just kind of not here or there. Yeah.
Ian, what are you thinking?
Oh, same old, same old. I just hope he's got several of those hats.
I think he has.
Actually, I wish he hadn't won that.
Yeah, either lose it.
Yeah?
Yes.
But that's his signature. I don't even think he's about to lose that anytime.
You can get a nicer looking hat.
We're going to election, so he's not going to lose it.
Yeah. Bob, I want to get your thoughts.
I like the way he brands himself, and he's with Honorable Theuri, who for me are one of the two best dressed politicians we have. So
even in this photo?
No, what I mean is if you cut out yourself as a very smartly dressed person, when you dress down, you're almost forgiven. And the fact that he was going to meet people, he needed to connect with them. So sometimes you dress according to the function. And that's why we say here, if it's a black tie event, can you go in black suit and a bow tie and all that? So I think he dressed according to where he was going and what he wanted to imprint in the people's mind.
What he was going to address.
So for his hat, yes, for his hat, for me, is what you call branding is all about.
Annabelle, share your thoughts, please.
I mean, I think sometimes politicians make a mistake. Sorry, I have laryngitis, so I'm going to struggle my way through. But I think sometimes politicians make a mistake when they are trying to be Casual Friday. And this is Casual Friday, and I don't know, it's trying to be relatable to the people, but at the same time I think it's a bit sloppy. I mean, Converse, I think there's a more sophisticated way of saying that you relate to the people. I think a pair of boots would have worked. I think the hat, the baseball cap is also corny. It just feels like, you know, I'm trying to be casual. It's too obvious. I think you should be less obvious about trying to relate to the people.
Okay, share your thoughts with us using the hashtag Fashion Watch. And let's proceed and see what else was happening. So this is First Lady Margaret Kenyatta with her counterpart there, the Ethiopian First Lady. The Ethiopian First Lady was in the country during the signing of the oil deal with Kenya and Ethiopia, and First Lady Margaret Kenyatta chose to wear this, I suppose, you know, in honor of her. So let's begin with Annabelle. This is Ethiopian, the typical Ethiopian garb, if you like, what they wear, but then now with a Kenyan flag. So Margaret Kenyatta going out of her way to have this done for her, because ordinarily I don't think it would have the Kenyan flag on it. But let's talk about this look for you. What do you think?
I mean, I like to see her looking so prepared. It's always nice when there's a state visit and there's people coming from a different culture to somehow appropriate or reference their culture with our leaders. I think that's an appropriate thing to do. That is Ethiopian cotton that she's wearing with the Kenyan flag as a border. I think it's a nice gesture. I think the execution is a bit shoddy. It's cold nowadays, so I guess she had to throw on this extra layer, and it's tied in this very sort of, I don't like the way it's tied. It feels like it was an afterthought. But luckily for our First Lady, the First Lady of Ethiopia is also cold and just sort of wore a jacket. I mean, between the two of them, she's obviously the better dressed because it's a considered look.
Yeah, interesting perspective there from Annabelle, Bob. The fact that the Ethiopian First Lady is visiting and she's not dressed in, you know, their traditional attire, and our First Lady is there, you know, like seemingly looking like she's really going out of her way. Yes. What do you think?
And I think she was prepared. Even the top is very well prepared, because what that says is that I'm smart but still motherly. And maybe the Ethiopian First Lady thought maybe our First Lady will be in a Giorgio Armani suit and high heels, and she got there and found someone prepared to welcome her in her regalia, but still respecting the authority of the Kenyan government by having the border, the Kenyan flag. So I think our First Lady was smarter and more prepared.
Okay, Carol?
Well, I think that this is a very literal translation of being, well, the keeper of the state gate, so to speak. There are more interesting ways that she could have honored the First Lady of Ethiopia, so to speak. I love that it's Ethiopian cotton, like Annabelle said, which is great. Ethiopian cotton goes a long way. It's very much respected across the continent, and we should emulate something from them. But if you're going to get something to honor your guest, at least, well, make it something more sophisticated or more interesting, or just think about it a little bit more. I've seen what Ethiopian women can do with their outfits across the age, and it's beautiful. And, you know, it feels like it was rushed. Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you, Ian.
I like it.
What do you like about it?
I like the fact that she went all the way to use Ethiopian with a Kenyan flag, because she's coming. And then the other one was told, you're going to Kenya, their First Lady is a sharp dresser, so you've got to dress sharp as well.
So one would think that the Ethiopian First Lady would be dressed in the Ethiopian thingy, though. I suppose that's what...
They need new informants. That's what they need.
I like the look. Okay. I like the look.
All right. Okay, so let's proceed and see what else we have for you. So this is bromance, as Bob called it earlier. And here we see President Uhuru Kenyatta with his Ethiopian counterpart there. Let's talk about this casual, I suppose.
Body language.
Yeah, the body language, yeah.
I think it's just telling people we're easy. You know, even the bodyguards will just even take a step back. But even in the casual body language, you see our president in, is it a red tie? Red tie says you're in my domain and I'm in control. And I think just that it's easy. And you know, the African president is usually the big man and with 57 bodyguards on either side. But this is just to tell people, you know, yes, we're smart, we expect to be very straight jacket, but we are easy. And for me, the image, I think they've done a fantastic thing. Our president is very good in image, I think.
Do you think our president gives fashion photographers or photographers, you know, at large, a hard time because of how casual he can get sometimes, like in this picture?
But I think he gives us a fantastic job.
Yeah.
You know, we always have something to say about how he looks. I can't really say that he makes the photographers work hard to get the picture. He just, he has a very consistent kind of look with the suit. It's just the casual part that he still doesn't know how to do. This is just a typical, you know, typical Uhuru in a suit. The bromance is interesting to me because I've never really seen any Kenyan president act like this. So, you know, that's definitely fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's proceed and look at more fashion pics of the week. The hashtag is Fashion Watch. Okay, so this, interestingly, is Mr. World Kenya 2016. How many of you have heard of this gentleman? He's from Siaya County. And he's
he's not the one.
This is not the one?
No, this is not the one. This is not Kevin, is it? No.
Oh, we're not there yet? Okay. I beg your pardon. This is the launch of a new club in Nairobi, and this is what this gentleman chose to wear. He chose to go with a red jacket and a black look. I don't know why I thought this was Mr. Kenya. He looks like Mr. Kenya to me. But that's just me. So let's start with you, Annabelle. What do you think about this red on black?
I think it's cheesy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to conserve my words today because of my voice condition. But yeah, I think something about this look is kind of like I'm really slick and I feel really slick and it's corny to me.
I almost feel like you're saying he looks like a pimp, but those are my
words. I mean, I think lose the hat, you know?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ian, I haven't heard from you in a minute.
He's got the label on the jacket.
Oh, does he?
Sleeve.
Oh, no, no.
Please, who still does that in 2016?
Very cheap.
That's cheap.
No.
That shows that it's a borrowed one from a shop and he's definitely going to return it.
Why does this guy have the label?
Because he's got to return that jacket to the shop.
No, but there are people who actually buy them and
they have no idea what it's there for.
Yeah.
Either that,
because it's a Giorgio brand.
Yeah, either that or it's a big designer, and we must all know what designer it is.
Please, no. Terrible.
Okay, Caro, does he look like a pimp? Does he not look like a pimp?
It's kind of hard to follow Annabelle and Ian with that hat.
Remember, he's wearing red and she's red. So
oh, Lord Almighty. Well, I would have to say that I have to agree with Annabelle. He looks a bit slick, you know, like I'm so smooth, I can talk you into whatever and whatever, whenever. I just... I'm not a fan, that's all I can say.
Ouch.
Bob, I think he likes this look.
No, I mean, I'm shocked because I was in black and red. Is that what you thought about?
No, it's not about the coloring. It's not about the color scheme. It's about the execution of the color scheme.
Of course, you don't need to have the label, but one thing people don't realize, if you have an expensive or a good original jacket, when you have the label, it's very easy to remove.
All of them.
Now, if you buy a jacket and you have to get a scissors to cut it off, you're on a very fake jacket.
Oh.
So, and that's why these guys still have it. If it's a good jacket, you just have to pull it off. Now, I like the look, remove the hat, but there's this thing about men and showing your chest. I don't know what that is all about. It's like you're from the gym.
He's in good shape.
I'm not hating on him, but as you say, and that's why maybe Annabelle said it's a cheesy look and Caro said the one like, look at me, you know. And sometimes men dress for the ladies, but one thing men should understand, ladies are not visual. You need to get them in the intellect.
I'm visual.
See,
but okay, what do you think about this look? The label, the Fashion Watch panel is a must go. You cannot do that. You can't. Okay, the hashtag is Fashion Watch. So let's proceed. And this is the same club. These two ladies, I believe, are actresses. And let's begin with, I believe it was a red carpet affair. So let's begin with the chiffon blouse or whatever a fabric that is. The lady in the green and the other lady. And just generally, nightclub setting, what to wear, what not to wear. It's a bit cold in Nairobi. Carol, let's start with you. So what not to wear, what to wear. A lot of girls in Nairobi are stepping out in little dresses nowadays, showing a little bit more skin. People are getting bolder, but it's a bit cold. So what to wear?
Well, I think once you get inside the nightclub, it doesn't even matter how cold it is outside. But I have noticed that as well, that a lot of little dresses seem to come out to play. But the thing about the little dresses is, you know, they move around a lot, and so it doesn't seem to contain them, so to speak. But since this was the launch of the club, I understand this club is supposed to have rules on how you dress and the kind of guests that they want to come in. So they actually let you in based on your dress code. So they must have had a dress code for this event. I'm not really sure what it is. I see a lot of red. Maybe that was it. These ladies look like they match their clutch bags for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Yeah. But I love the illusion, the optical illusion dress, because it makes you know, see there, it makes her waist look narrower and it gives her an hourglass shape. It's a very classy, very sexy, very elegant, and if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, you can wear something like that to a nightclub and nobody's going to think any less of you. I'm not sure about the chiffon. It's a little too relaxed, you know. If you're going for green, if you're going for I think that's yellow on yellow.
Oh. Yellow.
Oh. If you're going for if you've been invited for the launch of a club, then you've been given a dress code, then you need to pay attention to the dress code. I don't think she did.
Yeah. Ian, which look are you loving better?
A corset as well could have done.
A corset for who?
For both of them.
What are you talking about?
No, so I'm just seeing
actually, interestingly,
popping out of this.
The other day I was talking to Dr. Ofweneke, if you know Dr. Ofweneke,
yes.
Bob, and he said that this whole waist training thing and the corsets and the fact that, yes, we want to look nice in our little dresses, but then like when when you embrace a girl like your friend, how stiff it feels, almost like a pillar. We want to look good, but can you tell when girls wear these things? Can you actually
If you hug her, you think you're hugging your gym instructor.
Yeah.
So it's a bit hard, and for me, I just would like to tell the ladies, you don't need to wear a corset. If you're not very small, you can buy clothes or get clothes done that complement your body. But for the lady in yellow, it's too casual. And when you go into a club, the days I used to go to clubs, I don't go to clubs anymore, but when you're dancing and they're sweating, you don't want to be in a vest kind of top, because then the sweating trickles down and it's not a good thing for you. So you need to dress, when you go for a function, you need to dress with eventualities in mind. Because you're not going there to read a poem, you're going to dance. So the other lady, I think she's very, very smartly dressed. She looks good. Even if she went for dinner and then go to the club after that, she would still slide in very well.
Annabelle, I want to talk about bandage dresses, or the dresses that come with spunks, and just basically for the bigger girls who want to dress in these little dresses but don't know how to execute because they don't want the discomfort of the corsets like Ian is talking about here. Let's talk about that.
I mean, bodycon dresses, these have been a perennial favorite for women, especially going to the club. You always see girls wearing them. They're not going anywhere. I'm wearing a bodycon dress right now from House of Mednet. I mean, the key really is about control underwear. And it doesn't matter what size you are. You can be a size 6 or a size 18. At the end of the day, when you wear bodycon, everything shows. So you really have to pull it all in. And control underwear, honey. Don't hug me at the club. Just look at me. I'm going to look
Why are you hugging me?
Just look.
Just to
things are happening. People are wearing dresses with fake hips, so you can hug someone and things fall off. I think you have to be careful.
Oh, please. I don't know anyone that wears fake.
He does. There are many.
He does.
Okay, so let's proceed. That's not even funny, Ian. Okay, so same event, and this guy here with his date. This is Lenana. He's an actor. Let's talk about his look, the jacket, and just what he has going on. Let's talk about Lenana specifically, starting with you, Bob. Let's talk about his look.
One thing I like about this gentleman, besides being an extremely good actor, is he has gotten his brand and he has stuck to it. Now, this hairstyle, I had it maybe 20 years ago. And there's this Kenyan thing where people go with the flow. This is the style, right? But he has understood himself, caught his brand, and is not swayed at all. And that's the Lenana look. And I think he looks fantastic. He dresses well. I know that's his better half, and they complement each other.
Yeah. Ian, Lenana's look.
I like the look on both of them. I'm not too crazy about the bag.
Yeah.
Not too crazy about the bag.
Why not?
It's too big.
Okay, for a night out.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's too big.
Okay, so the bag, no. Let's talk about Lenana's look for you, Carol.
Well, I like the look. It's a clean gentleman's look.
Not too stiff for a weekend?
Well, his hair tells you that it's anything but stiff. So I think it actually works for him. And yeah, he makes it work. He makes it look good. And he makes his date look good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I just wish he did not have that big ass bag. It's just... Sorry. She didn't have a bag that big.
Yeah,
she just made it a bit, a clutch would have worked. Yeah, and because she's also so petite, the bag overwhelms her entire look, so you don't actually see what she looks like.
Yeah. Okay, so a thumbs up for Lenana on that particular evening. Okay, let's proceed. This is Marjorie of Nairobi Diaries. They call her Marge. She's a fitness freak. She is in super good shape, and she stepped out that evening as well. Look at the length of this dress, Annabelle. This is not what you ordinarily see every other day in the club, but I've heard you previously say that this is a very elegant interpretation of how to step out. What do you think about her look this evening? Just everything. Yeah.
I mean, it's really clean, and I think that's how you want to look. You don't need to do too much, but if you're monochrome, i.e. you wear the same color head to toe, and you just keep it demure, I think that's really pretty. She looks like, how old is she, do you think?
In her 20s, I would
so
believe, yeah.
Unfortunately, to me, she looks a little bit older, but I mean, I think that's I don't know what it is. There's something about her that makes her look maybe late 30s, but that's no shade. I think she's really beautiful, and that length is the meaty length, and that's a length that I think a lot of women are, young girls especially, don't do enough of, because that demure length is actually very fashionable. Don't be afraid just because you're in the club, that don't feel the pressure to always wear something that's really super short or super clingy. Think about that length just below the knee.
Yeah, Bob, don't feel the pressure to wear something super short just because you're in the club.
Absolutely. This lady looks absolutely fantastic. With the red is to say, when I walk in, I know who I am. I'm very confident. It's a head turner color. And I know it's her hairstyle that makes her look older. Yeah, but the dress is fantastic. She's not carrying too many things on her neck, on her hands, no big handbag. She's just nice, elegant, and look at me. And
Cara, when you look at Marge's dress there, you can see the inside is shorter, and then the lace sort of gives that illusion that it's a longer below the knee dress. What do you think about this look?
Well, this is a demure way to wear lace, because lace on its own is sheer. You literally, someone is practically walking around naked. So if you get a flesh-colored fabric on the inside, then you can get away with a lot when you wear a dress like this. So that's why it's like a little flesh-colored dress inside the longer dress. It's well, it's a conservative, demure way of wearing lace, so that it makes it work for you, so you don't expose yourself, you don't show off, you don't have to worry about underwear and bodycon and anything of the sort.
Yeah.
I think what makes her look older actually is not just the hair, but it's also the eyeshadow, because it's too dark around her eyes. But for some reason, I'm not sure how old she is, but she still looks much older than she would have been. If she's in her 20s, she looks like she's about 10 years older.
And Ian, I haven't heard you guys throw shade on the fact that this is a bit matchy-matchy, the shoes and the dress. This is a win for you.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
And she's very confident.
Yeah.
Well, she's standing there with one eyebrow up.
I know. She's fierce.
Very, very nice.
So this is how people should be facing up on the red carpet, actually. This is a
yes, not sporting your lips and lollipop and not those things.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's proceed. And finally, this is actually Mr. Kenya. See, there's a resemblance. Actually, yes. So this is, what's his name again? Kevin Owiti, Mr. World Kenya 2016. I don't know why we haven't heard more about him. We hope to have him on the show before he goes for the world, the finals.
He leaves on the 7th of July, I think.
Okay.
Yes, and he's. I was actually one of the judges in the semi-finals that brought him. Actually, in the finals, actually, I was the judge, one of the judges, and he's very confident.
How tall is he?
Not very tall, actually. He's not even 6 foot. He's not.
But is that usually a factor?
But I think he's within
within
the range.
No, he's within the range, that's for sure.
Must be.
He's within the range.
Just
but he's not 6. He's not 6.
Yeah, but I want to talk about the Mr. and Miss World Kenya franchise, and just generally where we are with this and why we don't hear enough about this. People, we had Miss Tourism Kenya last night on 10/10. Very eloquent, very promising talent. But then again, what happens after this pageants? Where do these people go?
I think what they need is to be managed after the fame, the expectations, and maybe sometimes when the spotlight is off them, because before you go, the spotlight is on you. How you handle when it's off is also very important. For him, I having talked to him, is very intelligent, very, very hardworking. I have a feeling he might just do very well there. He just needs more support, more encouragement, because we have a thing as Kenyans, we don't support our own. But he's done very well. He's very intelligent as a young man and very, very determined.
Yeah. Why aren't we flying our flag high, you know, across the world? Why is Kenya never top 10? I know Miss Tourism last year did very well. But what's happening with our pageants and our Miss World franchise, our Miss Tourism franchise? It's just a PR exercise. What's going on?
Well, I think it starts from the beginning. When you look at how the Indians prepare, when they had Miss India twice in a row, they actually groom them 10 months before they start competing to be Miss India. So you have to lay the foundations, you have to prepare them from the beginning. You start when they're young, you start when it's early, and there are certain traits that you have in a beauty pageant that we probably need to scout for before we even start auditioning. I think we just don't prepare well enough. When we pick people, we leave them to their own devices, we don't take care of them, and you're supposed to take care of them, you're supposed to carry them until they come back.
You know. Mr. Wisdom was telling me last night that she was crowned at 5 a.m.
Yes.
5 a.m. in the morning.
Yes,
Can you imagine that?
It's organization.
Yeah.
It's the way these things are organized. They are organized in a shoddy way, and they are rushed. They are literally rushed, because from the time they start the prejudging and what have you, it's really, really late. As she said, as she said, it's supposed to be started much earlier. But you see, for other countries, it's the government that takes it up. Here, it's individuals. So I've got the franchise. I'm not going to spend a whole year doing all this when I can do it in 2 months. So I'll just wait until the last minute. It should really be taken over. You're representing the country. Why are you asking a small group of people to choose who's going to represent your country? It should be the government that takes it, and it takes it right from the beginning. Like now, we've just done that. We should be starting the next one and having, start grooming them.
Okay, thanks for that, Ian. Let's take your vox pops. Let's listen in on what questions you are forwarding to the Fashion Watch panel.
So I wanted to know whether it's okay to pair silver and gold in terms of jewelry, because I think that's what most people are confused about.
Okay, I just want to ask if there are specific hairstyles for specific occasions or specific hairstyles for specific age groups.
Unajua kuna designs za kuvaa manguo, wengine wanapenda kuvaa mapenzo, wengine masuti. Ni kama mimi napenda kuvaa penzo, nitafanyaje saa nijue hiyo form iko sawa kuvaa kitu hiyo?
Penzo.
Okay. Somebody else. Okay, so for the sake of our viewers who are watching us from diaspora and across Africa where we don't speak, so penjo is pencil, right? Yes.
Oh, okay.
So a lady there asked me about silver and gold, a lady there with a question about hairstyles, and finally the guy who's talking about skinny pants. I suppose that's what he meant by the pencil pants. Let's begin with you, Annabelle, on silver and gold. I see a lot of girls just doing the whole, sometimes even stretching to pearls and just African looking earrings. But let's answer her question. Silver and gold, is that a no-no?
No, you can actually do it. It's actually a thing, but it has to be obviously done well. You can mix mixed metals, gold and silver. For example, if you have a stack of bangles, you can mix them up. If you have gold earrings, there's no rule that says that you can't wear a silver cuff, for example. But I think when you, like you say, when you mix the African with the gold, with the pearls, that's a little too much. So find a perspective. Decide today is going to be my gold and silver day. Yeah, I mean, it's very subjective, girls. But mixing silver and gold, you can do it.
But for the professional woman, is that a more casual look?
No, you can do it too.
You can do it.
Yeah,
okay.
You can do it too. Just do it more subtly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about the hair, Carol. The question on the hair, and I saw you guys react to her hair. So let's talk about her. Let's correct her look as well, because she has like she has just too much going on one side, or at least that's what I saw.
Well, I think maybe she likes it like that. Some people actually cover up the hair like that because they are a little too shy to make eye contact. So for some people, that's actually it's a thing that's beyond hair. But there is no rule that says that if you're a certain age, you can't wear hair a particular way. It's about finding hair that works for the shape of your face, and finding color that works for your skin tone, and finding a hair colorist and hairstylist who can make it work for you. So don't think that you're limited to a certain look because you're in a certain age group. Just find what works for you and make sure that you look good and that you actually like it and that you enjoy it and you know how to take care of it. Because just because you get a look doesn't mean that you can stick with it. Sometimes it might be very difficult for you. If you color your hair like Annabelle's and then after a few days it starts changing color, maybe it's not for you because you don't know how to take care of it. So some of these hairstyles, they require a lot of maintenance.
So to the gentleman on the skinny jeans, and notice the gentleman who was asking about the skinny jeans had ripped pants as well, the distressed jeans, as Annabelle calls them. So let's start with you, Bob. Is it okay to have both going on, the skinny jeans and skinny, distressed, not skinny?
There is even depression at its best, because you are trying to, you're an attention
not
seeker.
Not as a dad, but even seriously, fashion speaking, style speaking.
But I've seen young
He's a fairly young guy.
Yes, he is, but I've seen, because what you dress when you're 18, you'll just take it to a more subtle way at 30. So you need to train them from now. I don't want you to start wearing pencils, you call them pencil, or the distressed jeans. You know, it's too much and it's an attention-seeking strategy. For me, I actually personally, as Robert, don't agree with men or young boys walking around with tight jeans. Let the ladies do that.
But you wear tight pants all the time.
There is fitting, and fitting is not an excuse to wear tight clothing. Tight clothing, for me, I find it very cheesy for gentlemen. Now, if you're walking with your girlfriend or your sister, who is who?
Actually,
you can wear something fitting for gentlemen.
Yeah, I agree.
Wear something fitting, but not tight. And you see men walking with tight things. Now they're even sucking lollipops.
Well, actually, men should not wear. Men should actually not wear tight jeans. Men should wear tight jeans for reproductive reasons. It's actually not healthy.
Even those of us who wear fitting clothes, when you go home in the evening,
you take it off.
You're supposed to be free. It's healthy. It is very healthy.
No fun in that.
I know, right?
Walking around with tight jeans, and then at 40, you're seeing doctors because
you can't have babies.
You can't score.
It's true.
It's a problem.
Oh gosh, there she goes.
Okay, let's get your tweets. And then again, I also want to know from Annabelle, but I'll ask you, let's first get your tweets. The First Lady looks absolutely gorgeous. She never disappoints. This is Miss Kyla. Judy Perry, you're saying First Lady, I'd give her 4/10. Too much material. President Uhuru is an image to adopt. His style is unique. Frederick, you're saying ladies should dress their body, not dress for the body. And you're saying Ian is just hating on the dude with the red jacket.
Made it.
As in you're the designer, or?
Why would Ian hate on... First of all, Ian, do you want to respond to that guy?
I'm talking about the label. That is not right.
Yeah, Ian is not hating on the red jacket.
I'm not hating on the red jacket. It's the label.
Yeah, and Annabelle, finally, on the distressed jeans, and how distressed the jeans should be. I mean, because there are guys out there who are saying, please, you know what, I'm wearing my distressed jeans, they're skinny, I'm going to wear them. So how fashionable is it to have all those rips on the jeans in the year 2016?
Yeah, it's not so fashionable anymore. It's tacky, actually. And nowadays, there's nothing wrong with the distressed jean, but I think now what you should do is just have a slit at the knee, and that's enough. You don't really need to shred your pants, and it's just...
Tell Kanye West that.
It's childish. Don't do that.
Okay. So the hashtag is Fashion Watch. Remember, once again, if you'd like to dress the Fashion Watch panel, you're invited to send in your work to fashionwatch@royalmedia.co.ke. That's fashionwatch@royalmedia.co.ke. Please be specific about who you want to dress. Send us a pictorial of what you have, what you've designed, a lookbook, yes, as Carol calls it. And we will be glad to wear your designs on the show and talk about them. Thanks for watching. That's all.